Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashbelle and this is my YouTube channel, Beat by Belle. Thank you so much for joining us today. In today's video, I will be filming my foundation, concealer, contouring, and a bit of color correcting routine. So if that is something that you might be interested in or you might enjoy, do stay tuned. I know that in my first YouTube video, I did film my foundation routine, but I thought that today I just want to go a bit more in depth in terms of like how I apply my foundation, and also I did change my routine. And the reason I did that is because, well, it actually just happened like by accident. Last week, myself and a few very talented makeup artists decided that we were going to do a 7-day makeup challenge. And so I thought that, I was like, okay, what can I experiment with? What can I change? What can I make a bit better? And so yeah, I thought that I would come and share those little findings with you guys. And so the first thing that I wanted to share was my foundation routine. If you are interested in my foundation routine, this is it, and I hope that you enjoy. The first thing that I like to do in my routine is to make sure that I remove any excess oil or just like a bit of dirt or whatever that may be on my skin. And so I take a bit of cotton wool. If you have cotton pads, that'll work as well. And I just like to do this all over. The next thing that I like to do is to apply some primer, and I've got some primer on my hand here. I hope you can see it. And I'm just gonna rub that into my skin, and give it a nice massage just so that everything can get into my skin really, really nicely. So after I apply my primer, I like to give it like a minute or two to get used to my skin. I don't like to apply it straight away, and the reason I do that is because I find that if I apply any product directly after my primer, it hasn't set in nicely. Like now it's sort of sticky, and I like to get it, it's wet at the moment. Yeah, it's just like very supple. What I like to do is to rather get it sticky, literally sticky, so that the makeup can like stick to it and not just move around altogether. Now I'm gonna do a bit of color correcting, and what that's basically gonna do is, okay, if you can see around my mouth and under my eyes, hope you guys can see, under my eyes, it's darker than the rest of my skin. Like it's not like, I've basically got like uneven skin tone, and so I apply my orange corrector to those areas before my foundation, because then it just helps everything to blend nicely. And so the color corrector that I'm using is by Allegirl. It's the Pro Conceal orange color corrector, and how it basically works with, there's something in my eye. Ooh, the ghetto. If you are fairer than me, like this is how it sort of works with color correcting. If you're super fair, you're gonna use green, and then yeah, so it goes from green, depending on your complexion color, it goes from green to lighter orange to darker orange and to red. I know people who are darker in complexion use red as a color corrector because the orange doesn't do the job. And if you're super fair, you're also not going to use the orange because like it just won't work out. So I'm going to use the orange today, and I'm just going to apply it. I'm not going to apply it on my whole face. I'm just going to apply it on these areas. I'm going to apply it under my eyes as well. And the thing with color correcting is, I like to apply it on my arm first, on my hand rather, instead of straight on my skin, because if I apply too much, it's just a bit of a mess. I mean, it can be sorted out, but you'd rather just not have that mess in the first place. And so apply a little bit, and then if you think you need more, apply some more. Also, leave it to rest for a while. Like it needs to just set into your skin nicely, because if you just apply this, then you go in with your foundation, everything's just going to move around. So I apply this on my skin, and then I leave it for like 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, also if you have time, I do this only when I have time. I don't do it all the time. Yeah, so I'm going to apply this, leave it for a bit, and then I am going to apply my foundation. I've had that color corrector on my skin for about 8 minutes, and now I'm going to cover that up with some foundation, and I'm only going to use my foundation on the areas where I have applied the color corrector. When you are applying your foundation over these areas, just make sure that You don't tap too hard, just tap very, very lightly. When I'm applying any product to my under eye, I like to apply it in an upwards direction, because then I get into all those creases. Also, when you apply your foundation to your under eye, try not to apply too much, because we're still going to go over with some concealer. And now I am going to apply some concealer, and I'm using my LA Girl, I'm using my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Medium Beige. So how I like to do it is I start with my concealer, then I apply my foundation, and then I apply my contouring material, girl. I apply whatever I'm using for my contour, and then I blend them all together. And something that I also like to do is apply product on my hand before I apply it on my face, because I'm clumsy sometimes, and sometimes I'll just go in with way too much product and then it's a mess. So yeah, I'm gonna apply my concealer now. Guys, okay, I just realized that I made a boo-boo with your concealer. This is very funny because this was part of the tutorial and what you're not supposed to do, and now I've done exactly what I was going to tell you guys not to do. Anyway, with your concealer, apply it first, let it, girl, I really ruined this. Anyway, apply your concealer, let it set into your skin, and then blend it. Don't go in right away with your blender. That was my mistake. Sorry about that, okay? So what I should have done is just apply this, but it's fine. I'm just gonna let it sit like this, and then I will come back in and sort out any creases that I have. Like when you have a liquid concealer, well, or something, one that's more watery, I find that it helps with like if you're gonna apply it first, let it set, because if you don't do that, you are gonna get creases, which is what I'm getting now. It's fine, we'll make it work, don't worry, but don't do the mistake that I did. Now I'm gonna apply my foundation. Okay guys, I got a bit stressed out about the fact that I messed up my concealer and I forgot to apply some on my forehead. This is so stressful. Just apply some on your forehead. Don't forget that part. Okay guys, and now for my contouring, I'm going to use the MAC I think it's the NC45 palette. As you can see, this girl is tired, she's done. I usually use this color. It's like on its way out. But if like I have nothing of this, like none of this, I usually use these two, like I mix them. And so I'm just gonna apply that for my contouring. I'm not gonna blend it yet. I'm gonna blend all of this together now. It's just applying, and then we will blend. Okay guys, so I think that the one thing that stresses me out about this method, but just like something that I have to be mindful of, is that you have to sort of blend, you have to apply this, like don't take too long, because you don't want your product to get too dry on your skin to the point where like you can't blend it. So yeah, I just thought let me add that in. And then the order of events that I like to go in is a concealer. Well, when I blend, I like to start with my concealer, then my foundation, and then my contour. So you're basically working in the same order that you applied. Now you're going to blend in that order. Let's see what my concealer is saying. Yo guys, I really made a boo-boo. I'm sorry. You see those creases there? That's because I didn't wait for it to warm up to my skin before I decided to blend it. But it's okay. Guys, also I forgot to mention, before I apply my primer, I usually apply some prep spray. Primer and prep spray, I use the MAC Fix Studio Plus Prep and Prime spray, but I've run out of that, so it's tense. So yeah, if you have a priming spray, you're more than welcome to use that before you apply your primer. Now I'm just going to apply some of my Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and this concealer is lighter than the Aloe Girl Pro concealer, and what that's going to do is just highlight me really nicely. And I'm going to apply that before I blend in my contour, because then it gives it time to set into my skin and to warm up nicely before I blend it. Guys, sorry, I just want to mention something that is really important when you get to this part. When you're blending your under eye concealer, don't press too hard. Okay guys, and now I am going to set my concealer and my foundation, and I'm going to use the Yardley loose powder in the shade Translucent Bare to set it. So what I like to do is apply a little bit of powder, brush that off, and then apply some more just to let it sit in for like a while. Okay guys, so a few things that I have learned, and I just want to mention when I am applying my powder, because sometimes I found that I would apply too much. And so the first thing that I like to do when I apply my powder is blow off any excess on my beauty blender and then apply it. Secondly, don't apply too much pressure. Don't apply too much. Don't apply too much pressure, because then what you do is you move the product around underneath too much. Also, before you go in with your powder, it's important to make sure that you've blended out any creases, because if you apply your powder before you sort out those creases, what you're basically doing is just setting creases, and you don't want that. So I'm just gonna do this. Okay guys, so I have applied concealer and a bit of translucent powder to my eyes, my eyelids rather, and now I'm just gonna go with like a really nice peachy orangey warm eye, and I'm gonna use my Dischem Beauty Treats palette that I've had for a while. This girl has got me through a lot and she's had her days. So I'm basically gonna start with, what am I gonna start with? I'm gonna start with that warm peachy pink, then I'm going to go in with that orange, and then I'm going to go in with that darker orange, and then a bit of the glitter on my inner eyes. Okay, so I've gone in with the peachy pink. Now I'm going to go in with, hope I'm doing this okay, I'm going to go in with that orange. Okay lovelies, and now I'm going to go in with the darker orange, that one there. So I started off with that pink peach, then I went with the lighter orange, and now I'm going in with the darker orange, and what that's going to do is it's just going to give my face some definition, warm it up a bit, give it some color, and just make it cute. But what I also like to do when I get to the darker color, this darker orange, or just darker colors in general, I like to make sure that I apply them more to the end of my, or rather more to my outer eye as opposed to like here, because firstly there's more space there, and secondly when you apply the darker colors to your eyes on the outside, it snatches you really nicely. Okay guys, so the glitter that I'm going to use, this palette has had its days like I said, but I'm going to use some of that glitter, and it's basically like a rosy goldy shimmery vibe. I'm going to use that one. Yeah, just to make my eyes pop really nicely. I'm going to use that highlighter on my nose and on my brow bone, because that also just makes your face pop. I think one of the things that I've realized when I do a basic like face beat that doesn't have too much like eyeshadow and too much like things like eyeliner and whatever and eyelashes, the things that are really important are your eyebrows. Those need to be just lifted really nicely, because what they do is define your face and also gives you like a facelift. Nose highlight is very important as well. Eyebrow highlight is also very important. So those are just like, you know, things that you can do to like lift your face and make it even cuter than what it already is. I'm just gonna blend that a little bit. It's actually very cute, very subtle, very like warm, a very like everyday look. Okay, I lied. This is not everyday, sis. This is not every day. But if I had like 5 minutes to do my eyeshadow, this is what I would definitely like. This is my go-to. And I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm not going to fill them in. What I'm just going to do is take a bit of, I'm going to do like the soap. It's called the soap method. And what I'm basically going to do, sorry, something on here. Ooh, child the ghetto. And what I'm basically going to do is take my spoolie brush. This is a really cool spoolie brush because it has a angled little brush thing at the end as well. So I'm just going to take some, I've got a damp bar of Dove soap, and I'm going to rub any excess off on my hand. And then what I'm going to do is just brush my eyebrows really nicely, and this is going to set them and just give them that like fluffy brow effect, which is cute. Just go all the way to like the end. This end part, the tail of your brow, it's very important. Make sure she's secure. Then I'm going to go in with a lighter highlighter. And this highlighter, I know you can't really see it, but it's lighter than this one, and so I'm just gonna go in with that to just make my eyes pop even more. So basically, the highlighter that you use on your inner eye, like the inner corners of your eye, is just lighter than the highlighter that you use like maybe on your eye and on your brow bone, because then it makes your eyes pop even more. Guys, I just wanted to add that if you don't have the smaller brushes for your inner eye highlight and your brow bone highlight, I find that earbuds work really well as well. Like I've used earbuds before and they do the trick. You just have to make sure that you don't apply too much product. So maybe if you're going to use an earbud, apply the highlighter on the earbud and then rub it on your arm, and then just make sure that you blend it nicely when you apply it. So I realized that I made a boo-boo. I was looking at my face and I was like, something is missing, something's not there. And then I realized that I hadn't done my under eye makeup, which I meant to do before my mascara. I think I'm just a bit nervous today. Like, girl, please forgive me, I'm so sorry. And then I'm just gonna go in my under eye, fill in my under eye with this gold pencil that I got by Essence. It's the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil, and if you have any gold pencil or even a white eye pencil, just to make your eyes pop even more, I'm just gonna go in with that on my inner eye. So now I'm going to remove the excess powder, and when I remove it, I like to go in an inwards direction because I don't want to go over the brown contour with that powder, and so I'm just going to remove it really gently and lightly. Now I am going to contour, and I'm going to use the orange that I used on my outer eye, my eyeshadow rather. I'm going to use that same orange to contour my face. Now I am going to apply some lippy, and I'm using the Essence, I think it's the contouring lip liner, and it's in the shade, is it 6 or 9? It's 9. And so I'm just going to go in with that on my lips really nicely. Next, I'm going to go in with an orange liner that I got from my mom, and I don't know where she got it from. That's what it looks like. Any orange liner, any orange liner that you have, you can just use just to lighten that up nicely. Give it a bit of an ombre effect. Just gonna go in with that. And the lip gloss that I'm using is the Plump and Shine Herbal Plumping Lip Gloss by Palladio. I don't know, but that's what it looks like. It's really, really nice. I really like it. Very cute. Okay guys, so I'm just applying some blush, and the blush that I'm using is in the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt palette. It's the shade Ginger Binge. I'm just gonna warm my face up really nicely. Blend that a little bit. I'm gonna apply some on my nose as well, just a tiny bit. So in my previous tutorial, I did share with you guys that I tried to make my own setting spray. That girl is cancelled. Cancelled. She made me orange, and I'm still very hurt about it because I really wanted it to work out, and I wanted to just, you know, be like cute and be like, oh my gosh, I made my own setting spray. But it really didn't work out, and I ran out of setting spray, but I did manage to find this Glow to Go setting spray. I found it in my makeup box. It is almost finished, but I don't have my MAC Prep and Prime setting spray. So what I'm gonna do, the thing with this is it's really, really illuminating. So how it comes out is, I'm doing this, it comes out like that, and I don't really like that. I don't like it, it just is a bit too illuminating. So I'm gonna just hope this works. I'm gonna just apply it like that, and that is how I'm going to set my makeup. So whatever setting spray you have, just apply that. Woo. Just apply that on your face and blend it nicely. Also guys, when you're doing this part, just try not to press too hard. I do that sometimes, and then it moves the product around because it hasn't like set, but yeah. Okay, and there you have it. I know this looks a bit shimmy right now, but sometimes makeup just takes a minute to like set in. That's something I realized, like my makeup takes a minute to set, and that upsets me because when I'm done with my makeup, I want to take selfies and I want to go out and be cute. But my makeup's like, sis, no, just calm down. Give me a minute and then I'll show you who I am. I know that I'm not the only person. I've spoken to a few people and they're like, yeah, no, sometimes my makeup just takes a minute to just get used to my skin. And so yeah, this is gonna set in nicely. And yeah, thank you so much for watching my foundation routine. If you guys have any comments, any requests, do add that in the comment section. And we're on 60 subbies, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, this is my foundation routine. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.